Hello, this is Anne from Virtual Quilters. February means clue number 2 for our mystery quilt. So this step is pretty straightforward, but because everyone learns in different ways, I'm making a quick video so you can see how this is going to work. In your instructions on our website, you'll see a video, and that video is very helpful if you're not real familiar with half square triangles. It'll show you how to make them and how to trim them. And that's what the job is this month in clue number 2, is to assemble your half square triangles. So what we're going to do, I have a few samples here of the one I'm working on myself. And you're going to use your chart. Like always, there's a new one for clue number 2 here. And it shows how many squares you're going to use of your background fabric A. Now there isn't any difference between A and B, it's just what you decide to label them for the purpose of giving directions. So I have decided that my lighter color is fabric A and the darker one is fabric B, but you do what you want to do, just pick one of them for this step. So it shows on the chart how many of the background fabric A, that's my fabric A here, and how many of the ones that you've cut from your main fabric, which would be from your 10-inch layer cake squares or yardage or scraps. You should have a set, as we mentioned in the last step, of 1 3.5-inch square and 3 3-inch squares, and that should be a set. I happen to clip them, but you could pin them together, you could just stack them and slip them into a sandwich bag to keep them from getting spread. Whatever works for you, just to keep them straight. That'll help you a lot down the road. So you notice if you use the layer cakes, each layer cake is going to give you 2 sets that are the same, and that you're supposed to have that. So we're going to make this background. First question that came to my mind is, well, which ones do I pick if I'm only picking part of these main fabrics? And the answer is, I don't think it matters. So what I decided to do, just because I could, is I decided to, if there was 2, I used once, and the other one I set aside for a later step. But, I don't think you can go wrong with this, so whatever makes you happy. So anyway, so with this one, you're going to take the 3.5-inch square, which is just one of them, the bigger one, and you're going to put it right sides together. This happens to be a batik, so it's hard to tell them apart, but right sides together. And then on the back of one of them, and I chose the background fabric, I drew a diagonal line, and that's the first step of making a half square triangle. And then you're going to stitch. I have a sample here. You're going to stitch. If you can see it here, there's the line that's drawn, and then 1/4 inch on either side, you're going to stitch. And then you're going to cut on the drawn line, and then that will yield 2 half square triangles. You will press them open to the dark side, and you will trim them to make sure that they are 3-inch square when you get it to this stage. So you're going to go through all of your numbers and make these, and then clip them back with your set so you don't lose track. Now you've got a stack that's all the same size, and you set it aside. And you keep repeating through that until you've made the number that are on your chart. So in my case, I'm making a lap size quilt, so 50 by 60 inch. So it says here that I'm supposed to use this number of 3.5-inch background, which is 20. No, that's the baby, sorry, 30. Got to be careful. And then the number of main fabric cut from the 10-inch squares or yardage is 30 again. And then when you get those made, since each half square triangle makes 2, that makes sense then that you should end up with 60 total half square triangles. And that is your assignment if you should choose to take it for this month. If you have any questions, you can come to any of our Zoom meetings, or you can email me at ann@virtualquilters.com. Talk to you soon. Bye.